The European Court of Auditors has found significant weaknesses in implementation and problems with what they call the robustness of the framework for protecting market integrity. Does this give you cause for concern?
Yeah, the Court of Auditors is right. We have some problems with this ETS system. For example, cross-border activities. We have some frauds. We have the fact that certificates had been stolen in the past. We have this tax fraud with our system. And the Court of Auditors criticized a very important basis of this instrument, the so-called primes calculation model. And this is the basis for the national allocations of the certificates. And I think there's a really well-funded criticism from the Court of Auditors, and we have to think about it.
And what do you think the EU should do to ensure that European industry is not damaged by carbon leakage?
This is another question. The Court of Auditors studied the functioning of the system. What I'm criticizing in my report is that we permanently make our own ideas to make this system stronger and stronger. And it is not longer a market approach, it is an approach by interventions, by permanent interventions. And this is a lack of reliability, of planning security for the affected enterprises. And I think this is one of the main problems of our system. So that we have possibilities to act against this misuse of this instrument. And the cross-border activities, together with the possibilities to use VAT as a bad instrument, is a problem. And you have heard about the Deutsche Bank. They use the system, and it's criminal.
The Commission mentioned that they have addressed some of the issues that have been raised by the current, that were raised in the report that the Court of Auditors produced. Do you think that the current phase will have dealt with a lot of the problems that have been raised, or are there still outstanding issues?
I think phase 3 is a better phase. We have a lot of progress concerning the implementation, but the main issues, the main problems, the calculation on the basis of the primes model, for example, is still a problem. And for me, is one huge problem, and it is not in the report of the Court of Auditors, the competition by other laws, the Renewables Directive, our Energy Efficiency Directive. Things like this are in competition to our ETS system. And I think there we have to concentrate our next studies on this issue.
Is the EU's emission trading scheme still the best approach we have?
It is still the best approach. We have no other instrument, but we should have this approach more market-related. And all these interventions endangers our very good instrument.